everybody, this is Kohdok here, and as you can see on the card here, and yeah, I know, we're talking about Gem Blenders again. Now, Gem Blenders is a game I have covered a few times on this channel, and this time they specifically sent me a bunch of stuff to do some more, like, proper coverage of it. They're longtime fans of the channel, and they are currently running a Kickstarter campaign that smashed its $20,000 goal to get the game funded and, you know, get their product out there, and they wanted to send me some more stuff to show off on the channel to really talk about, including an updated version of the card they made that they based on me. It actually has a pretty good effects that I actually use in the deck I've built for the game. So Gem Blenders is a game that is designed to have like a lo-fi aesthetic. As you can see, the artwork is very extremely simple. I would hardly say that like high quality art would be this game's sort of selling point, but the idea is that it is another game that has dedicated resource cards and 20 life points, similar to a certain other game you guys I'm sure might have heard of. But the way that the game itself actually plays is very different. So what they've done is they've sent me a pack of sample cards, which I actually kind of had to press them to do. You'll see why in a bit, but it's because this is a channel where you learn how to make games. They sent me a couple of sample decks that are based on the beta Storm Strike and Rage Cemetery decks, and they sent me a handful of sample booster packs, and we're going to go over all of it in this video. The sample booster packs are 25 cards, although I'm not really going to be able to get all of them in this one run because 9 of those cards are the different gems, and as you can see and count, they sent me fewer than 9 packs. So let's get a closer look at the stuff down here. Alright, so let's have a closer look. So I was sent this big stack of sort of test print blend cards, and we have a pair of test decks. Now these decks are a lot smaller than the actual starter decks, and like I said, they are decks that are based on the previous beta versions of these decks. For example, this one here with Eleanor, you might recognize Carter and Eleanor as being characters from the trailer. Eleanor's deck is based on the deck Rage Cemetery, and the Carter deck is a partial version of the Storm Strike deck, although the Storm Strike deck isn't really a great example, because, or at least the one that I have here, is because I have converted the deck into my own custom deck. So it is ironically one that does use my card, although ooh, I can upgrade it to my new version. But I actually call the deck All Hail Kohdok because it's a crazy aggro deck that has a trick that lets it basically get 5 gems into play on turn 1 and has its win condition out by turn 3. So the idea is I do all this crazy setup on turn 1, finished off with my review ability that lets me then dig 5 cards into my deck to set up my next few draws for the next few turns. And the idea is that I can, by turn 3, get out this game's win condition, which is Hail Dominator. So Hail Dominator, the idea is that the gem blends actually go up to 5. So to break it down, the characters, the hero cards, basically you have 4 hero cards. Each of these hero cards occupies a different lane. And the idea is that there are 3 forward lanes and 1 rear support lane. And the idea is that these 3 forward lanes are the combat lanes. And what happens is you are trying to power up your heroes to push damage through the lane past the defense of whatever hero is in front of them. So let's get out a couple of cards here. So let's do Angel and why not Hail Dominator? So if I have Angel in my attack zone and my opponent has Hail Dominator out, Angel has an attack power of 2. That's sending 2 damage down the lane towards my opponent, but Hail Dominator has a defense of 1, so it decreases that damage by 1 and the damage that goes to the character. But because of how this game works, the monsters don't actually defeat each other. It is entirely how much damage they can push past each other, although there is a card, I believe, in Rage Cemetery that can counter Hail Dominator pretty hard. Hail Dominator's trick is that while it's in the center position, its attack goes up by 3. So it becomes a 5 attack character that I can get out in turn 3 with this hyper aggression deck that I've built. So the idea is that I get Hail Dominator going before my opponent can really have a chance to muster any kind of defense. Although, if they get enough time, they can get out Rage Domesticator, which has a defense of 6. Do they have Rage Domesticator in the sample deck, I wonder? It would make sense to have the well, I don't know if it would make sense to have the Capstone in the demo deck or not. Flare Launcher, Mage... maybe they don't. Oh, there it is! Okay. So there is the modern Rage Domesticator, and you know what? While we're here, why don't we get out the updated Hail Dominator? There we go. So Rage Domesticator has a defense of 6, and the turn you play him, you can swap it so that he has a 6 attack instead. So he is also a win condition card. But with a defense of 6, that's the only thing that can really stop Hail Dominator. And you can, like, rearrange your characters, but Hail Dominator really wants to be in the center position, although my deck does have a backup for in case I have to deal with something like Rage Domesticator. So what do I have? I have... Hail Dominator combos with the card Flurry Shifter, which has the same setup as Hail Dominator, but without this gray gem on the side, the arrow gem here. But Flurry Shifter, I can discard a gem from my hand to rotate my opponent's team, so I can force them to move their creatures out of Hail Dominator's way, and that combines with a special effect action card to do it a lot. Action cards are like your spell cards, your trap cards. I have a lot in here. I have a lot that allow me to search for cards, a lot that allow me to gather cards. There are cards with stars on them. You can have up to 6 stars worth of cards in your deck. So Super Blend Search costs 1 star each. There is a regular Blend Search that allows me to search for a blend, I believe, of up to level 3. Super Blend Search allows me to search for a blend of any level, which is how I plan to suss out Hail Dominator so quickly. And my 3-star card Weaponize, which doubles my attack damage dealt on a turn. And since Hail Dominator in the center position has a base damage of 5, if I can get it so that my opponent has no defense against it, that's 10 damage. That's half their life in a single go. So that is how the aggression on this deck works. But anyway, regarding these interesting cards here, I did say that there was something kind of off about them. I actually had to prod them to let me go off on them. So these were actually their original run of sample cards, but if I can show you, there is a problem on them. Let's see if I can actually get it to work on here. So what these cards have is a problem with a texture, because what happens is cards... Oh, this might work a little better. What happens is cards come in several textures, and what happened was they accidentally, on printing, got the linen style texture. You can kind of see as the light goes back and forth. I'll provide a zoom at some point. You can see how it kind of looks like it's made of fabric. Linen texture, it's a pretty common card texture. It's used a lot for like playing cards for games like poker cards, like casino cards. You see a lot of those with this kind of linen texture. And while it's fine for like casino cards with nice big like suit names, it's awful for trading card games, because what it does is it runs the risk of obliterating the card text when done incorrectly. So that is why you want to kind of preserve the fine detail, keep things nice like that. And you don't really need like this hand texture, because you're going to be sleeving a lot of these cards anyway. So like I said, this was kind of like with getting the cards in your booster packs in sequence, where you get like card 45, 46, 47. This is the kind of thing that you really want to square away with your publisher, with your manufacturer. And a lot of manufacturers out of China, they often make this kind of mistake. Like the sequence cards is something I see pretty much primarily out of manufacturers in China. So you want to make sure that you are not getting the linen texture. You want to make sure you're getting the nice flat texture. You want to make sure that your cards are randomized. If you're worried about that, you can scramble your sheets yourself. There should be a way somehow to scramble the sheets to make it so that they're already sorted. So whether they jumble them up or not, they're already nice and pre-jumbled, so you will be fine. Anyway, one thing I would like to point out is how far a lot of the design has come. So let me get out some of these gems. These are like the central components. Like the idea is that you start off as kind of like this sort of dull gray hero. I mean, they might have like hair color, but they're all wearing gray, even though my Kohdok card is based on my Steven Universe shirt, which is a very bright pink. They made it gray in sort of the final card, but as you attach gems to them and unlock the blends to put onto them, you get like a lot more color on the field. And there's actually a thing where you're actually supposed to stack the card like this. So a bit like Redakai, a game I've talked about before, the heroes do lose their abilities when you blend onto them. And you can only have one blend on a character at a time. You have to actually de-blend, which you can always do for free, to put another blend on top of that. But you can still see the name up here. So let me see. They had some like neat examples. Let's see if I can find one of the ones in here. They had him as like a herald or something. Well, that's kind of the neat idea, and it is a huge improvement from how the gems used to look. The gems used to look like this, and you can see how there's a bit of a problem here. They're all kind of the same. It's very clearly like grabbed off of the internet assets. Like I said before, I pointed out that their game initially looked like test prints, but they've actually like gone out of their way and made like special gem shapes, special icons to use on the cards that look so much better. According to them, it was me pointing out how good their promo Electron card looked, the one I've pointed out in the other video, that they actually took that same look and applied it to this to get it that nice colorful look. They went out of their way to, let's see, I have a sample of every gem here in foil. Yeah, they went out of their way to make sure that all of the gems are visually different. Like the only ones that even come close are maybe the yellow gem and the green gem, but I think that they still look different enough that it's easy to tell them apart. But yeah, the gems are visually very distinct. Especially like the red and the green one. I know color blindness is a common problem, but the red and green gems are very distinctly shaped. So if you and they're all designed to like stack underneath a character, and characters do have a level, although that's represented as a shield in the new version of the cards, and that is that's the most gems that you can attach to them at one time. So Eleanor's level 5. That is as high as it gets, but you have cards that can go as low as 2 or even as low as 1, like Francisco in the back only has a level of 1, and these kinds of level 1 characters are the ones you put in the support row. Like my deck makes use of, let's see, where are they? My deck makes use of Aaron. What happens is there are these little gems on the heroes, and you can only activate that hero's effects if the gem is, if you actually attach a gem to them. So Claire has an effect where you attach a gem to her on turn 1, she gives you a bonus attach for the turn. Gems, you can only attach 1 per turn like most resource cards. So you attach a gem to Claire, then you use her effect to attach a gem to Aaron, and that gives everybody basically a copy of Aaron's gem. That's how you get 5 gems in play, which activates Elaine's ability to start doing damage right away. So so I have like a nice clean strategy here, although we'll have to see if I'm actually able to get new up-to-date versions of all the heroes I want, because they keep changing the card backs on here. Like, here's how the original card back looked. It still had like all of the basic like original like lousy prints of the gems, and here is the just to compare, here is the second one that they made. This is the one that they used for the hollow foil gems they sent me. I actually really like this one a lot. It has the new gem icons on there. They're nice and distinct. It has the name clear as day on the bottom, but the newest one they have, I'm actually not a big fan of. I mean, I kind of get the idea. It's supposed to tie in with like the colorless appearance of like the starting characters. It's designed to have like a nice minimalist appeal, but I don't really like this one, mainly because it doesn't have the name on it. You don't want your card game back to be mysterious. You want to make sure that when people see a card, even if they like find it on the ground or if it's like sitting at a table at a convention, that they can see what your game came from. And I like this one. It captures the theme of making the things a whole lot more colorful, a whole lot better. This is my personal favorite, and I hope they go with something similar to this for the final production. So yeah, I think it's an interesting game with sort of an interesting game feel. They've also been getting in a lot of guest artists to do more similar sort of lo-fi art, which I think is going to be interesting. I'm going to see if they're going to let me contribute any art to it. I do like to occasionally dabble in there, but for now, let's see what we have in these sample boosters. Like I said, these sample boosters have 25, it's a set of 25 cards, and they sent me 8 packs of 7, which should get me most of them. I know it won't get me all the gems because there's 9 types of gems. Bit of an oof there, but this is sort of a look at the sample packs there, and it's going to give us an interesting look at how the game has evolved from the days of these basic beta boxes. So let's take a look at, my gosh, man, that face. That face is such a move. This is Ram Herald, I think. I believe the Capra gem lines are called heralds. Like, I've actually noticed, like, there's, like, sort of, like, casts that move outwards. Like, there's some that you know, there's a lot of cards called herald. There are some called angel. I guess that's based on, like, the gems and how they progress and stuff. So let's have a look. Let's have a look inside. Oh, here we go. Contents. Cards from 1 of 25 Kickstarter sample sets. 1 level 5 blend hero or a hollow blend hero. 1 level 4 blend, 2 level 3 blends, 2 level 2 blends, 1 gem, hollow level 5 blend, and 1 of 2 packs. So this is actually something that I think I talked with them about. They were talking about making the 5 gem blends automatically rare and the 2 gem blends automatically common, and I kind of advised against that. I said it should be based a bit more on how good a card is. Like, Hail Dominator is a very, very good card. It should honestly be at a higher rarity slot. But for an example of a card that I think punches well above its weight, it's Chiller. Chiller is a card whose effect is you can attach any 0-star action card. So that could be an action like Cancel, which is basically Counterspell, or Collect, which lets you examine the top 4 cards of your deck and pick one, or Gem Surge, which lets you grab a gem. You can attach it to him, and he gains the special ability of pay 2 life to use this special ability. This is a card that I see a ton of potential for, but as a 2-star blend, it would be a pretty common one. We're going to see, especially as more actions come out, the ability to do the action over and over again on your turn is going to be very powerful. It actually says 3 on here, but they errated it down to 2, so that's why I have Chiller in here, so I can always have my, be able to reuse my deck searches, always have that going. Let's see if we can get some more Hail Dominators. I only got 1 in the sample pack, so let's see what we got in pack number 1. Bit of that, gotta have some of that pack ASMR. Oh, look at that, we got a foil right away. So we got Miracle Conductor, Wonder Chord, +1 attack and +1 defense for every 2 invisible gems on your field. You cannot add more than +4 attack and +4 defense this way. So this actually ties in with Erin, and I'm wondering if this is supposed to be like Erin's final form or something, although Erin can't play this because she's only level 1. But it creates invisible gems. So you attach a gem to Erin, and all of the other characters count as having this gem. I don't know if there's other effects that let me create invisible gems. I think there are some. I think there's like another high level one that allows me to pretend to have other gems on a character. But Erin on herself gives me 3 invisible gems, which gives this thing a +1 power bump. Even then, it caps out at 6/6 with a lot of setup. So it might be a capstone if you use a lot of invisible gems, because invisible gems are technically a form of ramping. Bass Piper. Okay, this is something I've talked to them about. I mean, this one's fine. It's even hollow foil. It's nice, it's simple, but some of these backgrounds are a bit overwhelming. They're kind of devouring the artwork. I have commented on that. When in left position, treat your right position as if it has 1 invisible Terra Gem, Pyro Gem, Lucio Gem, and Capra Gem. Okay, so here's an example. So this one gives you some bonus gems. So yeah, this is you can tell based on the gem distributions there that this is a card meant to ramp to Miracle Conductor. Oh, there's Bolt Ram. So I called him Bolt Herald. I was wrong. Bolt Ram. Once during your turn, you may de-blend this hero, then inflict 1 damage to an opponent's HP for each Electro Gem on this hero to a limit of 5. So de-blending a hero doesn't really come with any penalty. It is something that you can do before you play a new blend onto it. So this is like a free point of damage when you do it. Oh, gosh, now that is an absolutely overwhelming background that needs to be changed. Wow. Foul is right. I can barely read that because of how overwhelming this background is. Powder Angel, this is a good one. While on your front line, every time an opponent searches their deck for a card, inflict 2 damage to that opponent's HP. So ideally, this would be the card I'd play before I get Hail Dominator. I do use Powder Angel in the deck, but ideally this is the card I do before I ramp to Hail Dominator to make it so that my opponent struggles to get their own engine going while I build my engine of destruction. Foul is right. Once during your turn, you may discard one card from your hand and then draw one card from your deck. So a basic cycle, that's not too bad. I believe there is some graveyard interaction. Oh, here's Herald. Okay. Once per turn, you may look at the top card of your deck and then... so it lets you Fate Seal. It's a Fate Sealer. And Arrow Gem. All right, moving on. This is... Oh, it's the guy from the top. It is Horizon Gazer. While in back position, immediately after you discard a basic gem from your hand, you may return that gem to your hand. So there are some cards that had discard effects, if I recall correctly. You discard a gem from your hand to do damage or rotate something. Interesting. Oh, there is regular Herald again. Let's see what else we have. That's a repeat. Angel. We already saw Angel and Powder Angel. So here's what I was talking about. How Angel clearly ramps into Powder Angel. You can tell based on the gem spread there. And Glow Herald. So Herald ramps into Glow Herald just like Angel ramps into Powder Angel. So yeah, so there are like sort of clear paths forward thanks to the name. Angel Gust, once per turn, you may switch this hero's position. It's more valuable because it has a base 2 attack on a 2-gem blend, and that is very good. That's a very good, like, aggressive start. Bond Breaker, Invisible, Dissolve Array. Once during your turn, you may discard a number of gems from your hand and or field equal to the level of a blend of an opponent's field, and then discard that blend. Okay, so that is a huge cost to force a D blend. Like even the lower Hail Dominator forces you to discard 4. I feel like that might be a bit of a difficult one. Oh, got another copy of Miracle Conductor. Got Cryo Gem. I got 2 foils, but they were the same foil. Blah. All right. Okay, we got Angel, Ram. So this is Ram. Let me see if I can find Bolt Ram again. So yeah, so that's not some bad design there. So Ram ramps into Bolt Ram. Big Horns, +1 attack for each Capro Gem in your discard. You cannot add more than +2 this way. Okay, so this is another one like you take advantage of like discard, like moving stuff to the discard pile. Once per turn, while on your front line, you may deblend this hero and switch the position of an opposite position hero. So this is another way to maybe deal with it. Bolt Ram again. Polish Duster. Sky Mirror. Once during your turn, you may reveal a blend from your hand that uses a Lucio gem and replace this effect with the effect of that blend. Okay. I keep getting these. Come on, man. I sure hope there's a better variety than just the 2 I've gotten. I've gotten three foil Miracle Conductors in one go. And maybe it means I have to make a Miracle Conductor deck. Oh, the foul pack contains this foul card and its foul visual design. Herald, Venom Foul, Glow Herald, Polish Duster. Oh, I got a Horizon Gazer. Normal. Be able to speed it up a bit now that I've seen most of the cards. We have Angel, Foul, Powder Angel, Bolt Ram, Mind Bender, Miracle Conductor Regular. That is what, 4 now? That is 1, 2, 3, 4 Miracle Conductors. So half of my packs have Miracle Conductor as their rare. My goodness. And how many 5 stars are there? There's at least 2. So 1, 2. I got another one. I got a different one somewhere. No, I haven't yet. Wow. I've only gotten the 2. Maybe there's only 2. I sure hope there aren't only 2. I also got a lot of Bolt Ram packs. He is definitely a mood. We got Angel, Herald, Venom Foul, Bolt Ram, Base Piper, Horizon Gazer. Have we looked at Base? Yeah, we've looked at Base Piper. And here's Base Piper the pack. So let's see. Not a lot of variety on the 5 stars yet. I'll see how many of them I got in a bit. Foul, Angel, Powder Angel, Bolt Ram, Base Piper. 5 Miracle Conductors. And are we really at our last one already? Wow. Like I said, I guess they didn't send me a lot. Let's... Oh, there's something different. Verve Conflictor, number 4. So I'm missing at least one of the 5 stars, it looks like. Verve, Polish Duster. For every blend in an opponent's discard +1, you cannot have more than +6. Now this is a powerful one. This is a punishing card for opponents who swap blends frequently like I do to ramp quickly up to something, because you do have to de-blend the old blend to put on the new one. So this is like a punish card. This one actually seems really good. Polished Duster, Glow Herald, Venom Fowl, Foul Ram, and Lucio Gem. So let's see how many I actually got. I know I got 5 Miracle Conductors. So yeah, I missed a couple of them. Reaching into the linen sample set, it looks like I missed out on Torrent Crasher and Data Cipher, and these actually look pretty good. So Torrent Crasher is, once during your turn you may discard any number of blends on your field to have a combined level total greater of a blend on an opponent's field, and then discard that blend. This is like a better version of Bond Breaker. It looks like Bond Breaker is the ramp. Oh no, Bond Breaker is not quite the ramp to Torrent Crasher. Torrent Crasher seems like it's really good. I mean, it's got a 4/2 body, which is pretty menacing, and the ability to just erase whatever's in front of it with, you know, a basic D-blend seems pretty good. Oh, these are actually a different size too. So yeah, there was a lot of things that were a mess on this. You can kind of see the linen backing on them. Data Cipher, Infinite Loop. Once during your turn, if you have a blend in your discard that is identical to a blend in your field, you may take 2 damage to your HP and return the blend in your discard pile to your hand. So this can be used and abused with Bolt Ram if you want to bring back Bolt Ram and have it like constantly de-blend to do damage. Although you'd need to have some more Electro Gems attached to something to do that. So I see some potential on these, but still, that was kind of shameful. So, yeah, that's a look at the current state of Gem Blenders. Like I said, their Kickstarter actually not only hit their goal on its first day, it has more than doubled, which means it hit a number of stretch goals, although there is one stretch goal for a special edition Hail Dominator, which is actually getting links on social media. If you could do that for me, just, you know, because I want those special edition Hail Dominators. Do it for you, boy. It's free. It won't cost you any money. That would be great. You can bet I'm going to be using these cards I got to try to bring the All Hail Kohdok deck up to modern specifications, although that might take a while. Like I said, this is just a preview set. It doesn't have most of the cards that I need. But yeah, thanks again, Gem Blenders, for sending me the stuff. If you're interested in, like I said, they call it a lo-fi game. It delivers a very different experience using the lane-based combat and the permanent heroes in a way that it's basically Redikai, but with all of the bad ideas removed. So yeah, that is Gem Blenders, and until next time, this is Kohdok signing off. A big thanks to all of my Patreon subscribers who make this possible, specifically Monster Crown, Spiritem, Skeldrakus, Christopher P, Universe of Legends, Cody and Kaya, Danny, Vaughn, and Johnny D2, who contribute at the $10 and higher level. We also have the names of our $5 and up patrons scrolling by now. Just $1 per month on my Patreon gets you access to my Discord channel, where we've been doing discussions on game design and even holding game nights through Tabletop Simulator. Do you want to see more videos about card game design? Check out my playlist about the 7 deadly trading card game sins. Do you want to see my reviews on more card games? You can check out the Doc's Game Club section. Don't forget to like and subscribe, and until next time, this is Kohdok signing off.